Attorney Michael Whitty.
Okay, thanks, Chantel, and thanks Tony.
So essentially, I'm sorry, Chantel. Essentially, you can have sort of two different views of the value of the company, depending on what the purpose is. I'm using this as a question to you because I run into this a lot of times with my clients, my own clients who get confused about that. How can it be worth something in this sense, and then when I sell it, something more?
Well, part of it has to do with valuation adjustments, including discounts for lack of marketability and lack of control. And those are real. They reflect real world conditions. And so when you're transferring just a part of a business rather than the entire thing together, those discounts are very much applicable. But then if you are looking at maybe selling the entire company, then you're looking at the enterprise value, which doesn't have those discounts.
Absolutely. Another point too. I think that what you're talking about too, planning is such an important factor, and it should be ongoing, because a lot of the things you read about in the papers, the infighting and families squabbling over a business to the point that they wind up losing a lot in the process. Can you share why the importance of planning is not only to set an estate plan, but to follow and have it ongoing?
Well, definitely. With some good planning, both on the succession side and on the estate side, you can greatly reduce the risk of conflict. There's no guarantee you'll avoid it altogether, but you can greatly reduce it, and that can do tremendous amounts of preservation of wealth. So, because when these family fights happen, usually the only people who get richer are the litigators.
Your side of the fence, right? Exactly. What I want to mention here, though, because that happens a lot, is that when the estates are drawn out too long, that's when the estate also is eaten up, not only by the attorney, but also by the IRS. So in a state, you diminish the value of the property and everything involved in that, whether it's the business or anything they own, if they don't properly plan. So it's important to see your attorney and your estate planners, at least annually.
Well, I do prefer that my clients talk with me annually, even if it's just a sort of a lunch or something like that, just to check in and see how things are going and whether there have been any changes that maybe we need to address in updating the plan. And it's nice if that can be a multidisciplinary lunch. So we're meeting with the CPA there and the chief investment advisor, and we're getting the different perspectives and seeing the whole picture. That can really help, and certainly can help avoid things where you get a conflict between the investment plan and the estate plan.
Yeah. So their estate plan, and as businesses begin to scale themselves, they need to be more frequently to come visit their attorney. Am I right on that one?
Well, I would say once a year at least. Quarterly is good. Semi-annually is good. If it's, and we're just talking about a short meeting, kind of see what's in the works and where things are going. In terms of longer meetings, that might be once a year. I want to ask you one other question. What makes you different? What sets you apart from the other attorneys in your area of law? Well, I think it's mainly the multidisciplinary approach and the experience with closely held business owners and family offices.
And that is something that I espouse very, very closely. You need somebody and I'm going to use a sports term here, but somebody to be the quarterback, somebody who can bring in or hand off or throw the pass, if you will, and bring in somebody who can, since we have the people on, address the leadership of the next generation, address things like unlocking wealth through whether it's a reverse mortgage or some other thing, bringing in the right people, because one person can't do everything, and nor should they. So I really, like you, I believe in a very interdisciplinary approach, getting people, all on board doing their jobs.
Yeah, we're definitely on the same page there. Thanks, Tony.
Good.
That's one of the benefits of family office. In a family office environment, you're not a one-person show. You are working with a collaborative team of people. There's a lot that I'm a wealth management person. That's what I do, period. I don't conduct law. I don't do reverse mortgages. I prepared my own kid for college, but that's as far as I went with it. it's important to have a collaborative team of people in a family office environment. Anything else you want to add for our audience, Kevin? Mike.
You got 1 minute.
Yes,
Oh, well,
and just that when we accomplish this, it's often a feeling of great relief that a great plan has been put in place. A good succession plan often takes more than a year to do all the necessary steps, but a good core estate plan can be done in just a few weeks. So it kind of depends on the nature of the engagement.
I will share this with you guys on my own personal experiences at working with a client. One of my clients passed away many years ago. I remember the first time a client of mine passed away. We had done all the planning. I'm one of those planners who plans not just once a year. I meet my clients quarterly. But when she passed away out of the country, came back, found out she passed away, I fell apart. But what good part was everything was set in place. The trusts, the wills, all of her, and everything was set in place. And I really am grateful that I was trained properly to do